back to Brands Hatch Indy here on BSR TV for Season 3 of the iRacing British Touring Car Championship. This is round 1, and if you're watching live you might be slightly confused, having already seen one race, and we are reliably informed that race did not count because of a gridding problem. So the grid was incorrect at the start of the race, had to invalidate it. We didn't find out till the end, unfortunately, so apologies if you've had to just watch a race that didn't count for anything. But in any case, if you're watching after the fact on YouTube, it doesn't really matter because you're only seeing this for the first time anyway. I'm Chris Cohen, and with me in the commentary box is Rob Burton. Excited for the real start of this, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, we were all getting psyched beforehand, and we've got to do it all again now. But yeah, hopefully some of the drivers will make up on places they had last race that got walled out, and make a good start here instead.
Yeah, indeed, and there's very little point discussing any of the events of the last race, considering it didn't count for an awful lot. But we are seeing Stelian Chepelevsky start from pole position. Andreas Katz is going to start from second on the grid. Terry will be starting 7th, and Ellis Stevens will be starting 9th, assuming the gridding goes okay this time, which I hope it will, because if it doesn't, then we could be I'm not sure what will happen. But let's not think about that. Let's think about what's going to happen when we finally get underway with round 1. So 3 rounds coming up for you this evening. This is going to be the first 16 laps, then we're going to have round 2, another 16 laps, and round 3 is going to be reverse grid as well, don't forget. So just trying to get a good view of the grid right now, which I'm not able to get a picture for the grid, unfortunately. Where's Andreas? There we go. Right, so Andreas Katz down there at the front of the grid, well, second on the grid to Stelian Chepelevsky. So Chepelevsky should be able to get away and hold the line into the first corner, Rob. We've possibly lost Rob again, as Chepelevsky just about makes it to the grid. The lights are on already from Brands Hatch Indy as round 1 is underway. Chepelevsky on the inside of your picture. Katz is moving across now to cover the line and tuck in behind. And coming down into that first corner, the downhill paddock hill bend. There's a wide car there. That's Richard Wild going wide. Keeps it all in check, and we're fairly clean through there so far. Oh, the drive cool car sideways, but that's Jack Goff colliding with someone in the background. Round through Druids then, see how we're going there. Everything looks fairly clean at the moment. The 2 Wix racing machines are both through, and you can just see Goff there in the background, unfortunately. Andreas Katz is in second place to Stelian Chepelevsky at the moment. So if we can get our driver information up there. Not sure if Rob Burton is back in the commentary box with me or not.
Yes, I am, yes.
Yes, he's back. Welcome back, Rob.
That was a fairly clean start there, and a lot of those did quite well to stay out of trouble there.
Chepelevsky takes way too much curb on the inside. That's let Katz come down the inside of him into Druids. He's going to have to yield that place to Katz, surely. And Robert Fagg is looking to go down the inside as well, but Chepelevsky takes the wide line and keeps that going. Simon Field, meanwhile, with a very good start, is in 3rd position. Right on the back of Fagg there. Richard Wild is, like we saw him go wide on the first corner there, he's lost out, but change for the lead then, Andreas Katz. Good overtake there, capitalising on a very rare mistake from Chepelevsky.
Yeah, good overtaking there, and a lot of the field are quite tightly bunched up still after the first 3 laps. And
one to watch really is Simon Field is in 4th position, doing extremely well, but Richard Wild will feel when he robbed it. And Field's gone wide. He's put it into the gravel, and there's a back marker there as well. Wild's down the inside, but he's got that back marker contempt. There's a lot of traffic there. Fagg's going around the outside of the back marker. There's another Dynojet back marker there as well. And Field lost out there. There's a Yuasa car of Ander Diaz just behind there as well. So Richard Wild seems to have benefited out of that one.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of traffic and a lot of things going on in this race at the moment up front.
Well, there's just no room on the track, is there, with 30 There's 35 cars on the track, Rob, and there's less than a minute a lap.
Yep, and we're already coming up to lap 4 as they cross the start-finish line again. Start a new lap.
I mean, look how many cars there are around here. Just coming through Paddock Hill Bend, that's Katz, and Chepelewski and Fag, Wild, Field, and then there's too many to even name them all as they're coming through there for another time onto lap 4. Katz, though, will have been pleased to get that early lead, starting to just creep away with it.
Yeah, he is starting to creep away, 0.7 of a second so far, and yeah, Robert Fag though, this great newcomer, he's up to 3rd.
Yeah, he's doing very well, and we didn't know what to expect from Robert Fag, but he's impressed so far. At least he's possibly not got the pace to catch Chepelewski, but we'll have to see, because Chepelewski's last mistake cost him the lead. So Richard Wild then, 4th place, ahead of Simon Field. Field will be... oh, and a big mistake from Fag. He's taken way too much curb there. That's going to shift him wide. Richard Wild will not let him up with that one, but he can't capitalise at Druids. So that's bunched those 3 up. It's Fag, then Wild, then Field. Very nice, simple names. I like this. And they're very easy to pronounce for a British commentator, at least. And Field has got his eye on both of those cars up in front and will want to get back into the action. Although 5th place, he can't be disappointed with that, right, Rob?
No, definitely not. Yeah, he's in a good position, and you never know if the 2 cars in front have a coming together or something. He could still be up to 3rd there.
Just spreading out over the start-finish line, but we'll stay on board with Field here. You can see there's not much gap between the 4 cars up in front, right up to the lead. Oh, and Fag's gone wide, Rob, and that's the 2nd time in a row, and he's gone defensive.
Oh!
Wild's taking him out on Druids, so... Well, oh dear, Fag has been turned around by that. Let's see what's happened to him, if we can.
He looks okay, he's still going now. He may have a bit of damage, but he's right behind the eBay Motors car now.
And he's dropped himself down to 16th, sorry, 7th place. And we'll see if we can get a brief replay of that. So, watch, Fag goes wide here, tries to cover, comes back on the inside, and... Well, it's a difficult one, because Wild had nowhere to go there, you've got to say, Rob, looking at that one. Wild would have picked up some damage there as well, but he's still currently running in 3rd place, although the lead 2 are now getting away with it. Chepelewski is right on the tail of Andreas Katz, though.
Yeah, we're just hopefully Richard Fag can make his way back up at the front there. He's down in 7th place after that lap went through.
And just look at this battle that we've got going on here. So, Ander Diaz is the red and white iRacing right up in the front of your picture there. The white eBay car there is Adam Terry, who hasn't managed to get up ahead of 7th. And Robert Fag has been squeezed right in the middle of this battle there, in the Speedworks car there on your picture, in the centre of your picture. McCarran is right behind him. And Martin D. Christensen in the other eBay car is right behind him, with Stevens behind him. So Stevens has actually dropped a place since the start of this race. Oh, and the Yuasa car's gone wide there, so Ander Diaz has gone wide, and there's 4 wide coming into Druids. Wide. That's never going to work. Oh, that is a disaster. McCarran's off.
Oh my God.
Fag is off. That is some impact there, and that has ended so many people's races there. And that looked like it started with Ander Diaz. Look at the state of his wheel as well. There's no way he's coming back from that, is there? So, well, just like what I was saying, Rob, there was no way they were going to get through there, was there?
No way they could get through there. Not 4 wide. I've never seen that happen before.
So we're just having a look at a replay of that. Number 73 car there gets a bit wide. He's rejoining the track as Robert Fag looks for the gap. Should have probably predicted that he'd come back. Tries to bail out at the last minute. Collides with Terry. And that sends Diaz out into the barrier. But meanwhile, Fag has gone off to the other barrier in the other direction. Somehow the KX Momentum there keeps out of trouble. McCarran is collected there, and the KX Momentum in the foreground of your picture somehow miraculously gets away with that one, but that has put paid to a lot of those guys' races, and well, it's a big shame, but we could see it happening a mile off it. They almost telegraphed it, didn't they?
Oh yeah, I bet some guys are holding their heart in their mouth there, trying to get through that mayhem.
So those guys will be off to the pits. They will hopefully get back out on the track, but As we, in actual fact, we see the Oasa racing car coming back out there. Katz has managed to hold off Chepelewski there. Stevens, meanwhile, is up to 6th position here. So just a back marker coming up on the track here. Katz and Chepelewski will go round. Oh, Chepelewski is being pushed out very wide there. That back marker could have done with getting out of the way a little bit more, but no harm done in the end. And I believe that's Ander Diaz in the background. Down to 27th place, Rob. You won't be happy with that.
No, won't be happy with that. Hopefully,
it was his mistake, I suppose you could say, that triggered it.
Yeah, I think it was. I'm not here to complain or anything, but it looked like it. But luckily for some of the other drivers, we've still got 2 races to go today.
Well, the day I see 4 wide into Druids and all 4 coming out the other side will be a remarkable day indeed, and I might have to eat my hat. But until that happens, that was always going to be a problem. Which is rare. We don't normally see that kind of tight action going into Druids, except at the start of a race. But that means Ellis Stevens is now up to 6th, and once again you have to feel for Adam Terry, Rob, not having the luck there. He was well, you could say was an innocent bystander there. He's down to 30th place. He's a lap down. He won't score any points, and he's going to be qualifying a long way down the field in his 2nd race.
Yeah, definitely, and yeah, very, very unfortunate there, and he'll be looking to put a good race in to make up a load of points the next race.
So we're on board with Laura Bond here, who is currently rounding out the points in 15th place for Team Bianco, chasing down Stephen McGarity and Steve Richardson, who are just up in front. We do have one back marker there as well. Should be interesting to see if she can get around any of these guys before the end of the race. We'll stay with the onboard shot just for the moment. Nice and tight through Paddock Hill Bend there. The dyno jet up ahead is Stephen McGarity, who is fending off quite well, I have to say. There's a slow car on the inside, but all the other cars manages to get around there. We can see the eBay Motors of Steve Richardson, the black car up ahead. So the KX Momentum now is actually a back marker. But at this stage, any points you can grab, any positions you can grab, rather, will grant you extra points. McGarity goes very wide there. Bond might be able to capitalise as we come onto the start-finish straight for another time here. This should be interesting. It's a very difficult place to make an overtake, is into Paddock Hill Bend, Rob.
Yeah, definitely, very difficult place to Paddock Hill Bend.
And we've already seen some damage on the front of Laura Bond's car there, and she gets that one wrong, so she's got a little bit wide there and had to give up the time. Meanwhile, up front, Katz is down to 2nd, so we've missed Chepelewski's overtaking manoeuvre there. We'll go back a little bit on the tape and see if we can get any kind of replay of that. So Chepelewski is behind at this stage, but let's stay with it. Stay with the replay for the moment. Look how close he is behind there as well. Goes out wide around Paddock Hill Bend, tries to get that extra angle on the exit. Katz has gone defensive here, so coming down the hill towards Druids, takes the inside line. Katz goes defensive but thinks better of it. Now we see the cutback from Katz as he takes the wider line, but it's unsuccessful, and you have to say it's a great overtake from Chepelewski. Perfectly clean, and really there's nothing Katz can do about that at all, was there?
Yeah, great battle between the top 2 guys there, and yeah, very clean race.
Well, I never thought I'd see Katz overtaken, especially not that easily. I mean, it looked easy. Obviously, it wasn't from where Chepelewski was sitting, but a great move from Chepelewski, who has sometimes been criticised in the past in this series for making some rather aggressive manoeuvres, but there was absolutely nothing wrong with that. Katz, meanwhile, not willing to give it up with 2 laps to go.
Yeah, it looks like he's still going to go for it with 2 laps to go. You know, you might be thinking, well, this is the first stage of the season, we might settle for some good points there, boys.
And they're just coming up on that Team Sicily back marker there. I mean, back markers, you never want to overtake based on a mistake from the back marker. You want to overtake because of your own merits, but you take the positions where they come. But that back marker has moved out of the way very sensibly as we come on to the very final lap of the race. So let's have a quick rundown of these positions here. Chepelewski from Katz with a big gap to 3rd place, Richard Wild. Simon Field is 4th. Christensen is 5th, very good result if he can maintain that. Stevens is 6th, he's gained 3 places since his grid position. Osvath is 7th, one of the new entries, and he'll be the highest finishing new entry as well. Kaiser is 8th, Janowski 9th, Hefford, a very impressive 10th at the moment. So, coming around the final corner now, Chepelewski will take it from Andreas Katz. Chepelewski wins the first race of the season. Is this a sign of things to come? He secures his pole position for the next race as well. Impressive drive, especially considering he had to earn it, Rob.
Yeah, definitely, and it looked like Andreas Cat there just decided to hang on to the second because there's no point fighting and getting involved in any set.
Indeed. Field finishes 4th behind 3rd place Richard Wilde. Christensen is 5th, Stevens is 6th, Osvath is 7th. Jerome Kaiser is coming home in 8th position. Janowski and Hefford, I believe, did get that 10th place, so not only moving to a new team, he has moved up in the standings as well. It's a very impressive result there. Craig Burleson takes the 11th position there. Dan Hunt 12th, Steve Richardson 13th, Stephen McGarrity 14th, and the last point being taken there by Laura Bond in 15th position. So we had 34 finishes out of 35 starts, so very, very full session indeed.
Yeah,
but that's par for the course for the BTCC, right?
Yep, that's part of the course for BTCC. Anything can happen, and there was quite a few drivers that had a big, massive crash there.
Well, that was the exciting point of the race, shall we say. Still going to need probably to see that a few more times to see whether it really could have been avoided. Oh, a big pile up going into the pits there, which isn't great. But it was a difficult one, wasn't it? Because well, Diaz got loose, and he had to come back on the track. He couldn't stay off the track. So
yeah.
Whether he could have done it differently, or whether Robert Fagg could have kind of come back on the track in a not well, I don't know. It's probably not worth speculating. But if you are watching this live, you might want to go back and have a look at the YouTube footage of that. Rewind it, decide for yourself. Second page of results just up on your screen now. 2 more races coming up. That was only round 1 this evening, and if you're wondering why it's a little bit delayed, it's because the first attempt at round 1 didn't count because the grid did not form properly. That's worth bearing in mind. The results from round 1 will be used to populate the grid for round 2, so we've got that to look forward to. Now let's see if we can't get a word with Simon Field. Simon, great result for you, 4th place. You must be thrilled.
Yeah, a lot better than first time round. At least I kept it on the tarmac this time.
You did, and there was a lot of carnage behind you at one point in that race. I'm not sure if you were aware of that, but did you see any of that in your mirrors?
Well, I saw Richard and I think Richard and Robert had it coming together. That put him back in that pack, and I saw he was back there with a couple of people, and all of a sudden they just disappeared. I heard it, but I didn't see it.
And how difficult was it out there with the multitude of back markers that you're kind of having to pick your way around?
Well, most of them were okay. One of them decided to get in the way for an entire lap. That put paid to any chance of a podium after that. But well, what can you do? It was that or shove him off the road, and that's not my thing usually.
Did you feel like you had the pace to get round Richard Wilde?
I think we're about evens. I got past him at one point after he made a mistake, but then I give it straight back to him with a silly mistake of my own. So I think either of us could have had it. I don't think there was much between it.
And it seems to be very much that you need to wait for someone to make a mistake. That's the way we've been seeing things play out around Brands Hatch, especially the Indy track. But we saw a particularly impressive overtaking manoeuvre from Chepelewski come around this track just now to take the win. And it looked like it was basically undefensible. So it does look like it's possible to kind of get round someone against their will without them making a mistake. But are you more likely to just sit behind someone and wait for a mistake, or would you try and force it?
So there's no point doing anything silly, like you say. If you get a run on someone, then I'll have a go. But I'm not gonna put put any risks out at this stage, I think.
So 4th place start in the next race is going to put you right near the front of the grid, in fact. So how do you think you can do in this one?
Anything less than where I am now, especially, like you said, there's been a few accidents. Some of the quicker guys are further down the field, so 4th or better for me next time with any luck.
Well, I'm sure you can do it as well. We'll be excited to find out if you do. Good luck in the second race, Simon. Thanks for joining us.
No bother.
That's Simon Field there for Wix Racing. Let's see if we can get a quick word with one of the unfortunates who was involved in that incident in the middle of the race there, Nick McCarran. Nick, are you with us?
Yeah.
Thanks for sparing us some time there, Nick. That was pretty nasty on the way into Druids when we saw you guys come together, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think Marcus came out the pits. I mean, it's very difficult at this track. It's not just up to the guys coming out the pits to be careful. And I think there was 3 or 4. And I saw myself going into the bunch of them, and I thought, "What are you doing here?" And then it was too late.
I mean, it did look like it was 4 wide at one point, and we know 4 wide into Druids wasn't gonna work. But
Never.
Did you feel like if you'd yielded and things had resolved, you shouldn't have been the one to yield, or was that your thinking there?
No, my thinking was race head. I could make up a place here. What it should have been was, I should stay out of trouble here. Just like I just watched it from Ellis's point of view, and that's exactly what he did. He almost came to a stop and then carried on.
So there's not going to be much finger wagging here. It's just sort of one of those things, is it?
Oh yeah, it's definitely one of those things. I mean, Marcus came out the pits, and there was already a tight battle going on, which I was clinging onto the back of, and it was going to be trouble. And really, my instinct was, let's get up here. I'm on the inside, I'm okay. And then matey swung left or swung right and hit me. Really, what I should have done was hung back a bit, but hindsight is, always a good thing.
Well, your one consolation prize is the knowledge that you provided the viewers with quite an entertaining mid-section of that race. I'm sure it won't help you too much. Just finishing just outside the points there, but you hoping to make up some places in race 2?
Yeah, it should be an interesting race too. Hopefully now I'm going to be up against some people that I can put some passes on. So that's the good thing about starting near the back.
Well, we'll keep an eye on you for race 2. Best of luck, and hopefully you can come through that field.
Cheers, mate.
That is Nick McCarran there. Thanks to both him and Simon for joining us. And race 2 will be on in the not too distant future, only a few minutes away in fact. But Rob, if the first one was anything to go by, this one should be even more interesting, right?
Oh yeah, definitely, and you just hope again that there isn't too many first lap incidents and everyone has a clean race. But I know we all keep saying that, but anything can happen in this series, as you and I very well know.
Anything can happen indeed. I think that's why, especially because it's a short format, you don't have to commit a lot of time to watching or taking part necessarily, and because of the different levels involved, you just get so much excitement in every race. It's like having a little sort of concentrated burst of excitement every Thursday. That's round 1 from Brands Hatch Indy here on BSR TV. Round 2 of the iRacing British Touring Car Championship is coming your way in just a few minutes. If you're watching live, just leave everything as it is, it will tune for you. Otherwise, hit the next video on YouTube, and we'll see you soon.